Savage our day and close out our week here this Friday, July 28th, perhaps even close out our month. Nope, that's actually Monday the 31st as we come back after the weekend. But great to see Patrick and Alex and Jeff and all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Great to see you all there. Great to have all of us back perhaps on social. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. We have to move quick, folks. We are continuing and finishing up actually the Phase 2 stock course class later on this afternoon, just coming up at 3:05 Eastern time. We have a lot to talk about here, though, during this meeting, though, too. So markets have pushed up pretty nicely across the entire day. Small little dip heading into the early afternoon, but has bounced since. And this could be a really fun close. So if you're joining us in class, even, we're going to try and follow a few trades live. BGLC here is obviously stock on the screen. It's also number 2 on the gainers list right now. It's actually the top tradable stock, I'd say, because this one really here is not tradable. So BGLC is still on a bit of a spread, thin volume on the book, but easily enough, I'll just start by putting this on our watch list here for the afternoon. Now, the one thing on the daily chart here is that this has been like all over the map lately. I guess a relatively new IPO and ended up having some crazy squeeze up back in early July, up from 4 up to 16 or so, then back down. I don't know anything about this company, folks. Trade it at caution because, hey, if this fails to make the pop, or if it makes a head fake, if it comes right back below that big resistance it's building off of, just basically at like 387, 390, then that's a huge red flag. You don't want to be stuck in that trade on the way down. So, hey, we're going to put it on our watch list to begin. Let's see if there's anything even looking more liquid on the order book, a little maybe less level 4 to 5 stock as we would categorize it. AURC, this is the untradeable one. I just wanted to show this just to kind of compare the two. I mean, obviously the price, but look at the spread. It's on a dollar spread. So it's untradeable, this stock. We're going to move away from this, but let's see what else we can get, though, going into this meeting. Go from top to bottom now. This is a buyout here. You could just tell. Pretty expensive stock, RETA, but big buyout looks like. IFBD. This was from the morning and then actually heading into the early afternoon. You could see it tried to break out higher up to 150 and above, but failed to get the job done there. Comes back down. Ooh, nice little move up here on BJDX right now, just squeaking back up from 7 up nearly $1. I'll come back to it. Not fully committed to this trade just yet. It's also pretty thin like the other one, except the other one, the BGLC here, is like at the high of the day. So this has a little bit more groundwork to make up for here, and we'll come back to it. Yeah, Fix popping up, then pulling back. Same deal there. Just done with it right now. Listen, it's a Friday in the dog days of summer. We're heading into August, folks. Like, no national holiday there. It's vacation time pretty much at this point. Families trying to get their last, like, real time in for vacation before school begins the following month. So, with that said, we're kind of in the dog days of summer here. If there's really nothing that's looking that great, then it's not worth watching. As I say that, of course, that doesn't mean that there's nothing out there to trade. QuantumScape, we knew that going into this meeting was going to still be pretty active. It was pushing up above 13 going into 230. We were calling that out. Hey, easily enough, going to put this on our list here too with the BGLC. This is everything that we would ask for. Stock ended up running yesterday. A crazy pop and drop yesterday the stock made. So it is a bit surprising to see it explode as much as it did just yesterday, and then some, to break new highs too. So right now, I'd want to see it hold above that previous high as support, that being like basically here at 1326. So a bit of a moment of truth coming up perhaps on this QuantumScape trade. All right, what else we got here? I thought there was also another quantum stock or something like that. Obviously, QS QuantumScape here, but I thought there was another stock with quantum in its name. Either way, we move forward here. Roku, hey, easily enough at the high. Is a little expensive, but you could buy calls. It seems like you're heading into the close. Really quick, let me get the prices up for Roku calls for today, just right now. So right now, if you were to do like $85 calls for Roku, it's trading at $1.42. $86 calls trading at 72 cents, basically. A bit of a spread between the bid and the ask there, but that's where you could at least trade the option, right, on a more expensive stock like this. So, Roku definitely going to put back on our watch list. I didn't mean to click on this. 63,000 shares. That's not tradable at all. So we keep going right now. TAL. Hey, we're familiar with TAL. Ended up making a nice pop earlier today. It's at the highs too. So we're very hopeful for this to make a nicer run into the close, but it is pretty slow. Like the last 30 minutes or so, it's just been flat. So hopefully sooner is better than later here in this case. Hopefully it ends up making that push. And Tiger, you could say the same thing on. This is even slower, a little bit more stagnant even. So not fully committed to that. Billy, same deal here. Chinese stock just gapped up overnight. Same with XPEV and NEO. XPEV moving a little bit nicer though here. NEO, you could kind of say same thing. It's pretty lively still. It's right at the highs. It's trending up pretty nicely there. So, you know what? We got TAL, we got XPEV. We'll get NEO back on our list here too. All right, so a few Chinese stocks. We're going to check out one I'm familiar with here myself, IQ. And IQ, perhaps I would have found this on the gainers list as I kept scrolling down, but hey, it's right there as well, right? Up 13+% at the highs. It's a level one stock, not the fastest thing out there. I'll even kind of put this off on the side list right now. It looks really good, but let's see if there's anything looking even better. If there's anything that you folks have for me here on social, on YouTube right now, or inside our live trading room, just type it in. Let me know. You want me to look at like a large cap like Tesla, whatever the case may be, or if there's something popping right now that you see either way, just type it in. Hop over to the loser side here, though. Hey, if the markets push up higher, we're not going to find as many good short opportunities. But for the meantime, we'll see what we got. Sleep number dropped off earlier. I reckon it's like tradable, but pretty thin. If it was at the lows and setting itself up for another drop, that would be more appealing to me, but I'll pass. Same here. And I don't want to say it here because I'll eventually jinx myself, but I really don't think we're going to find like too much that's looking great as a short right now. I say that because we've been scanning the whole market myself and Rich throughout the last few hours, and there wasn't really much that we were looking at all on the way down. So even this EMPH, pretty expensive. It was down early this morning, but making a pretty good bounce here. Trying to fill a small portion of the gap. All right, a lot of talking today there, so small water break. But folks, let me know what you got for me. Up, down, left, right, more than 5%. Just type it in the chat board here. Sava and Carvana from Chuck. We'll take a look. You know what I'm going to say on Sava, so we pass on that automatically. And then the Carvana trade, it's pushing up a little bit. Obviously, it's more of a riskier trade just given the spread now at this point. Back when it was a $20, $25 stock, it was a lot more liquid, whereas easier to trade. So you know what, Carvana, I'll put back on our list here. SoFi, shout out to Brian here who chatted me earlier on this one. SoFi, I do have some interest in. Just I'm not in the trade, so it's not literal interest as if I'm in the position, but I think that there's some options activity that we can keep an eye on heading into next week and beginning today, of course. So very timely pop right now to make a new high on SoFi. Mike, IO, and Q. It's a little slow, meaning that today's Friday also with options expiration, so perhaps you can get some funky move there. It's on such a nice trade, Mike, right? So it's tradable. It's beautiful stock that we call out every day. Is it going to make that like 50-cent pop, dollar pop that you're thinking? I'm not expecting it. So if we get it, perfect. But otherwise, right now, I like the QS trade a little bit more. Netflix, pass. Big pass on this. Not worth it. All right, folks. Hey, it's good to ask, but hey, right now we want to find something that's more within our price range and something also that's pretty liquid there. That's why Carvana, a little thin on the order book, but right now I'll put it on our main list. At least trades a ton of volume day to day. I got my Benzinga up here. Good. I thought I didn't have it up. All right, so let's see what we got on Benzinga before we close out here, folks. Tupperware. How can we forget Tupperware? Drug. Let me change this year volume criteria. So Tupperware, drug. One or two here that we'll take a look at. All right. Little pop up on Tupperware there. We take it. We like that. We'll add that to our list. Not so much this. And not so much this either, as much as I'm interested in this stock. This is way too liquid. It's not going to break through all of that big volume. If it does, that would be impressive. But I'm not expecting that. All right, so folks, you know what? Hey, we got a really good list here heading into the close. We'll take a look at the last two I put on the side. The BJDX here looks dead. We're going to pass. Guess it had a little second wind pop at first, but died off. So no go there. And, IQ's tradable, but I feel like the ones that we have on our list so far, the QS, the Roku, even as expensive as that is, that's like really volatile. It's good. SoFi, Tupperware, etc. Those are the best stocks here from this point heading into the close, folks. Start and stick with this list. If there's a stock that you're trying to trade on the side, unless it makes an enormous pop, keep it to yourself. Trade it, and I hope you do well on it. The last thing I want all of our students to be is overwhelmed by how much is moving. Start and stick with this list. It's going to give you the best chance to make some good money heading into the end of this week. Big shout out to a lot of our students this week that ended up killing it. Specifically, quick shout out to Patrick. I had a small conversation with him just earlier, but he did really well on Wednesday. I know a lot of us did really well throughout this whole week, if not specifically today. So, hey, if there's nothing really that's floating your boat right now, I would look to finish up. Join me in class. Hey, we got the Phase 2 stock course lined up at 3:05 Eastern, folks. We're going to continue our discussion on time and sales, and we're going to talk about shorting opportunities with that in mind. So, it might not be the best market for shorts here, but we'll see what we can get here heading into the close. But best of luck trading if you're not joining me. Happy weekend to all, and we'll catch back with everyone heading into Monday of next week. Take care.